Right, guys, welcome to the new weekly preview of the upcoming week on the futures markets. Today, we'll be looking at both the NASDAQ E-mini futures and the S&P 500 E-mini futures. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we're coming off all-time highs on both ES and NQ from last week. So let's have a little look at the chart. So if we put some of the lipstick on here, we can see some equal lows here. First thing we notice, equal lows there. Obviously, this is the weekly chart, so it's quite a zoomed out view. And we've also got a weekly FVG, which is forming here. You'll be able to see it more clearly on the daily. So although this is tapped in here on the daily FVG, this weekly still holds as it's only just opened up. Also, we notice that this wick is actually the previous week low. So what we could potentially see towards the midweek of next week is that we start off the week quite bearish, go into this swing low point, take it and push higher. However, when we're at all-time highs, we cannot assume that we'll start the week off bearish, forming the low of the week by Tuesday, Wednesday, and then carry on bullish. We've got to keep in mind that at all-time highs, like sometimes we can just expand into the unknown. So price could literally open slightly short on the day of Monday tomorrow and then just fly off. Like that is very possible. But if we look here at the daily, we see those EQ points right there. This is, equal lows. We want to see them get swept at some point. So we'll have to see whether, the weekly range allows us to pull lower towards this area or whether it's just going to be a short pullback and an expulsion higher. So we've got the daily FVG here, which is, again, pretty key. Previous week high here. Obviously, always, guys, mark the previous week high, previous week low. These will always most likely be our points of reference for the upcoming week, especially if we consolidate initially. Like we want to see one of these get taken and see a reaction off this. We're just going to put the previous day low as well on there. Was that Friday? Yeah. So we'll watch the previous day low as well because we may want to open below that and then swing up. We've got this daily FVG here as well. Very possible. This is a big draw. And if you zoom in here on the 4-hour, I don't think we actually have much on the 4-hour to see. No, not really. Like all of our 4-hour sort of swing points and FVGs have been filled. We've got this nice little one here, which hasn't been done. I didn't even notice this, to be fair. Bit of EQ there as well. When I put EQ, guys, what I mean by that is equal lows or equal highs, but EQ is just easier for me. And if you zoom in on the 1-hour, you can see that we've actually got two sets here. So you've got equal lows there on the 4-hour, and then we've got equal lows there on the 1-hour. And it actually aligns with this hourly FVG here, if you can see that. So as you can see, we're sort of plastering the chart with quite a lot of bearish PD arrays, or like bullish PD arrays that we want to see, get respected and go back to all-time highs. But I definitely wouldn't be too hasty on the longs coming Monday. Like the best thing to do, I would say, guys, is let the Monday range play out and let that dictate the next day's sort of outlook. So Monday range and then use Monday's range to trade Tuesday. But overall, guys, we are still very much bullish until we see like a 4-hour break of structure. So like, let's say, I'll draw this out for you guys real quick. I've got to get a move on quickly, guys, because we've got a call on the Discord tonight about the weekly recap. So what we could see here, guys, is something like this, where we do something like that, cut back here, and then we could go lower. Like that could very easily happen at any point when we're at all-time highs. So just very, very much trade cautiously. I don't recommend going for high RR. Anything 3-4 RR or more is very, like, you're playing dangerous game, really, especially if you're not putting stops at break even. You're asking to get stopped out because once we're at all-time highs, things can get even more volatile. Price can swing one way, turn direction, go back the other, Just take your 1-2 RR and be happy. Take your 1 win, close the charts, boom. Okay. So we've done our little analysis here on NQ. Obviously very, very bullish, but expecting some sort of pullback at some point. Okay, so be aware. So it's quite a, it's bullish, but with a hint of cautiousness, if that's even a word. So let's hop onto ES now. And what we see on ES actually is we've got a really nice weekly gap that open here. So if we measure the points, it's about 100 points down, which I think actually isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. But if we look a little bit lower, we've got these equal lows, which are like, they're all stacking up here. It looks very, very dubious. I mean, if we were to start the week very bearish and have like some crazy down candles, I would not be surprised if we use this as a point of reference later on in the week, where we could tap into this and then look for longs Thursday, Friday. And then if we look at the daily, we'll zoom in again. We've got this daily FEG, very tiny fair value gap right there. I don't know if you see this, guys, right here. This is actually a really, really good spot. If we have a change in momentum here, could tap in here to the weekly and just about tap into this daily. And this internal, I didn't even mark this, guys. This internal low is very key. Very, very key. Let me look at the, where is it? Friday. That is the low. Yeah, that is the same as NQ. So this is the internal low, which we'll use as the previous week low as well, which is very, very important, guys. If this sweeps on ES and doesn't sweep on NQ, we've suddenly got a massive, massive SMT, and we can take crazy longs. That's where I'd be looking to load up like a 3 or 4 RR. If we tap into something like this, guys, and get an SMT here, oh, you don't even know what'll happen. Like I'll be foaming at the mouth, boys and girls. But let's look into the 4 hour. Have a nice sort of zoom in. Not really much to see again. I mean, this wick just took out respected all of our bullish PD arrays, so there's nothing much to see. Hourly, we've just got this one local gap. If we were to be ultra bullish here, we'd want to see price just tap into this hourly, or this hourly right here. I didn't even see that one. This one right here, and then just expand higher. That could very easily happen in a bullish market. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much all we've got to cover for today. I can have a look at the news for you quickly. Let's just cover the news because we don't want to have any surprises. So let's say this week, let's have a little look. So Tuesday, we got PMI. Okay, PMI Tuesday, high volatile news. This is really good for liquidity though, guys. I wouldn't be too scared about this. It's not one of the big three. It's not FOMC, NFP, or CPI, so I wouldn't be too worried about this, but it's good to see. So red fold Tuesday. New home sales, typically this is one of the weaker sort of types of news on Wednesday, but it's still good to see. We're going to have lots of liquidity generated on Tuesday and Wednesday, which is exactly what we need for our kind of trading style. Coming into Thursday, as you can see, we've actually got quite a lot of jobless claims. We've got durable goods orders. Loads of stuff going on 1:30. I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bits of news at 1:30, guys. On Thursday. This is really, really good, guys. When you've got several different types of news on one day, what we can see, what we can expect to see even, is that wick high, that wick low. We can trade one to the other, assuming price goes back to normal after FOMC, right? Because we had some questionable barcode looking price action. So yeah, but coming into the Friday, we have got the we have actually got CPI on Friday. So Michigan consumer sentiment as well is quite important. So yeah, Friday could be a very volatile one, ladies and gentlemen. 1:30 again. So Thursday and Friday, guys, I want you to focus not purely, but keep an eye out on that wick high and low on the 1:30. Keep an eye out, because as soon as we open 9:30 a.m. New York time, so that's 2:30 p.m. UK time. As soon as that market opens on Thursday and Friday, we could have some very, very nice plays. But yeah, aside from that, folks, I think I've talked for far too long now. Just trying to keep it under 5 minutes. We're actually at 9 now, so I'll leave you guys to it. But thanks for listening, and hope to see you next week on the weekly preview. And until then, folks, take care, stay safe, and have a good week.